I'm really excited about the paper in JITC that describes a phase 1 trial of Nemvaleukin. It is a new class within cytokine therapies. The proof of principle is there that if you get the patient's immune system activated to a certain extent, you are able to get prolonged remissions. Because of that, the drug development of Nemvaleukin is extremely exciting in a field where pretreated patients are still showing responses and the immune unresponsive cancers are showing prolonged durable remissions. Nemvaleukin is a novel engineered fusion protein that is designed to leverage the antitumor effects of interleukin-2, which is a cytokine pathway, while mitigating the cytokine's historic toxicities, which include cytokine release syndrome. It works by selectively binding to the intermediate IL-2 receptor, activating and expanding the CD8 T cells and the NK cells with very minimal expansion of the Treg cells. ARTISTRY-1 trial was the phase 1 first-in-human study of Nemvaleukin therapy. So it was meant to first off evaluate the agent for its recommended phase 2 dose and the toxicity or the dose-limiting toxicity. Part A, which was the dose escalation, looking at dose-limiting toxicities, interestingly, no dose-limiting toxicity or maximum tolerated dose was reached. The optimal dose was noted to be 6 microgram per kilo, and that is what was used in the expansion cohorts, both for the monotherapy expansion, Part B, as well as for the combination with pembrolizumab. So toxicity-wise, the predominant toxicities seen were neutropenia and anemia. Only about 21% of the patients had grade 3 or 4 neutropenia, and for the most part, it was fairly transient, so it did not result in hospitalizations or no episodes of febrile neutropenia were noted. The regimen was actually able to be delivered on an outpatient basis, so as an IV infusion. The monotherapy dose in the phase 1 or the dose escalation part also showed about 10% objective response rate. And this was in multiple tumor types that were significantly pretreated. At least 2 to 3 prior therapies were received. And in the tumors where immune checkpoint therapy is approved, majority of them had received that already. Despite this, we saw a response of about 10%. And the other noteworthy thing about Nemvaleukin is that it tended to produce durable remissions, even in tumors that are typically not expected to respond to immune therapy in general, like platinum-resistant ovarian cancer, for instance, where there were reports of durable remissions that were noted with Nemvaleukin therapy. In addition, mucosal melanoma, which is a very refractory cancer and typically does not respond to immune therapies, also showed durable remission. The combination of Nemvaleukin and pembrolizumab was also well tolerated. On the mechanistic side and correlative data also showed that proof of principle that Nemvaleukin was activating the immune system, and it was doing that with expansion of the CD8 and the NK cells and minimally expanding the Treg cells, hence overcoming some of the immune resistance within these tumors. There were responses noted in malignancies which are typically not known to be immune responsive, such as platinum-resistant ovarian cancer. In fact, in this patient population, there were 14 patients enrolled with platinum-resistant ovarian cancer, and there were 3 responses, objective response rate of 21%, 2 CRs, so 2 complete responses, and these were durable remissions lasting about 2+ years, as well as there was 1 partial response. So high-dose IL-2 has proven efficacy and was approved in kidney cancer and metastatic melanoma. Historically, this has shown some durable remissions that have lasted years. However, there was a very limited patient population that we could actually use high-dose interleukin-2 regimen in. And the main reason was the toxicity profile requires administration, first of all, with very careful inpatient, sometimes even intensive care monitoring, and it severely limits the use only to the fittest patients. So it restricts the use to only to the fittest patients, and majority of the patient population, either because of age or comorbid conditions, is not able to get interleukin-2 high-dose therapy. I'm a believer in immunotherapy, and I do believe that the only long-term remissions that we can call cures have been seen in, at least in metastatic solid tumor malignancies, with the use of immunotherapy of some kind. And cytokines have that potential. We just have not unlocked maximum potential, mainly because of the toxicities that we had to overcome and the limited efficacy that we saw with high-dose IL-2. But the proof of principle is there that if you get the patient's immune system activated to a certain extent, you are able to get remissions and cytotoxicity of their cancer. So because of that, this advance with Nemvaleukin and the drug development of Nemvaleukin is extremely exciting in a field where immune therapy, already immune checkpoint therapy, pretreated patients are still showing responses, and the immune unresponsive cancers are showing durable remissions.